Hi guys, like to welcome you guys all back to Playing with Melanin. Today I'm here to talk about the 3 shows that I did in June. Yes, I know it's August, but I realized I needed a break and I took most of July off to kind of get myself together, draw a little bit, and just chill. So I want to talk about the 3 shows that I did as a vendor in technically like end of May, June. And so I did 3 different ones and I really have insight. Like they each provided me like different insights. So let's start with the first one. The first one was the Black Romance Book Fest that was in Atlanta, Georgia. This was officially my first out of Texas show that I did. And bro, listen, did not realize how much the book community really had me. Like I was like, I've done planner events, I've done regular events, I've done black events, I've done all types of events. The book girlies, listen, love y'all. Thank y'all so much. We did really, really well. The crowd, the energy, everybody was lit. We couldn't even fully set up all the way before girls were coming and trying to buy things. I introduced acrylic bookmarks that I designed, sold out, completely sold out. Had to get a wait list, realizing now that I never actually finished the wait list part, but we push on. I really feel like that was such a mood booster for me, especially it being my first out of town show. Um, I do think with the out of town situation, it's a little different. And luckily for me, my sister lives in Atlanta, so my setup wasn't as bright and beautiful as it normally is because I was traveling. So I do kind of have to keep that in mind because I will be doing the show. I will be doing the Black Romance Book Fest again in 2026. So I hope to see you there. But I am already starting to think of a way of what my display will look like when traveling because I bought some gray grids, the gray grid shelving because I use the blue one when I'm in Houston. So I bought a set of gray ones that my sister could use if she was also needing them for her shows because Shop Yo Queen is hers. So I wanted to do one that like she could actually use and not just like sit up in her house and take up space. With that being said, I do feel like I need to really work on my display for next year because my display was a little bit different than everyone else's. My display, I still kind of kept like a Comic-Con feel to it. But I actually want to really go all out with that for next year. I really want to kind of create like a cute little booth that you could come and like there should be like a photo booth thing on the side of it. Like I'm really thinking in my head of how I want it to look. And I'm hoping that this year, because I'm going to start shipping stuff to my sister's house like way in advance because the way that the U.S. Postal Service lost some of my bookmarks and things that I actually still have not recovered. That is definitely a lesson in the books. It was my first out of town show. It has made me feel a little bit more confident to do some more out of state shows, but I think I'm more comfortable doing out of state shows in places where people I know already are. Also, it kind of like sets this mindset for me that like, I'm not going to do an out of state show and have another show within 2 to 3 weeks between that. So originally I planned to do the Black Romance show, the Black Romance Book Fest, wait 3 weeks and then do Comic Palooza. But we actually got accepted into our second event of June, which was the Houston Book Babes. I've watched their stuff on Instagram. I've actually been to their event that used to be on Navigation Boulevard, but this was the first time that they moved it. Ooh, my hair is doing weird things. This was the first time that they moved it inside, and they moved it inside to Post Houston. I've done an event at Post Houston before, so I kind of already knew what the layout was. But with this event, I wanted to try a different setup. So I used my 6 and my 4. I'm trying to include pictures like as I'm talking. I had a little bit of an issue. So the original spot that I was supposed to be in was in the front, but they ended up moving us to the back so that they could put the food vendors all in one row, which was fine. But I ended up getting stuck right next to this pillar, and the pillar kind of made it really difficult to see me when you're walking. Like you don't see, like I kind of just show up like after the pillar. So I turned my table to be opposite of the pillar. So when you walked by, it was one of the first things you see. But what I noticed is like I missed I would miss customers coming in from one side, and I should have took that into consideration. Um, but I've basically concluded like book events, we thrive in book events. So if you guys know of any book events that you think Melanin Eclectic should try to be a vendor in, let me know, because I know more book events are becoming more and more popular. We will be doing books on the ground here in Houston in October. So I'm hoping like that'll be our third book event. Like we'll still keep the same vibes going. Um, I definitely want to change my table layout again. I'm at the point now where I'm going to just have it set up in my living room and we're just going to make adjustments and I'm just going to try to build it out. I want things that are easy to put away. I'm working on reorganizing the bin. I have 3 storage bins that I use for when I'm traveling in my car with my stuff. So 2 of those are full of products. And then the third one is setup things. And so I'm actually going to get a different container for the setup things because I kind of want the setup things all in one container and I want it to roll, or like should be able to put it on a dolly and roll it. It's all coming together. I did, however, this was the first show that I kind of went all out with the lavender. I even wore like a lavender shirt. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm currently looking for a lavender wig because I'm really trying to like just set in my color palette. And I think with the glitter tablecloths and stuff, I really think I found like the look for my table. So with this event, I kind of solidified more of my branding, which also makes me want to create some more signs. And I also realized like I want a more fairy ethereal feel to my booth. So that means like I'm going to be changing like the back sign that normally sits behind me. I want it to sit up higher and I want it to sit like above my thing, and I want curtains. I want fairy lights and curtains. So it's like I'm getting the ideas of what I want and how I want my little booth to look, but I'm also trying to create like more of a like fantasy-esque space. Like I'm going to be wearing elf ears. Like I'm really going to try to like lean into like my fantasy book girly look. So I'm currently looking for lavender things, like everything that I'm going to be using lavender. Ooh, I hit the mic. Lavender. And I don't know. I liked people's reaction to it. Everybody really received it really well. They really liked that I was matching my booth. And so it just kind of made me think like, okay, we could actually like go in and do this. So even with this hair, I feel like it would look really good with lavender. So needless to say, for books on the ground, it's supposed to be cowboy glam. So I'm currently trying to find, some way to incorporate lavender into it. I'm currently also looking for a skirt. I'm trying to get all of this together because, you know, like I want to be in theme. I want to be cute. Obviously, I'll change into this outfit like after I set up everything, but that's kind of my thought process where it's like, okay, like be your brand. Like I want to be more of my brand. I'm used to seeing girls or people that run their booths look really cute, and I've decided I really want to do that this year. So that's kind of the lesson that I've kind of taken from the Book Babes. That following weekend, we did Comic Palooza for the 3rd time. And I must say, this was our weakest. This was our weakest one. And I actually think, while the crowd really wasn't there, I also believe that my layout made it a little difficult too. I have to take that into consideration for next time. I think I should have trusted my gut with my first idea, but I didn't. And so we kind of suffered a little bit because of that. But it's also still like a learning curve. It's still a learning process. And I think that I'm going to do Comic Palooza again. We're going to see. We're going to see how I feel. I don't really have much else to say about Comic Palooza because it's one of the ones that I enjoy. Like, am I wore out by day 3? Yes, every time. But like, I enjoy it. So I don't want to completely give up on Comic Palooza, but I do want to try to do DreamCon next year. So I just want to let y'all know so far, the 3 that are on the list already that I want to do is the Black Romance Book Fest in Atlanta, which I've already gotten accepted into, Comic Palooza, DreamCon, and I want to do another Book Babes event That was really, really good. I made more in one day than I did the whole weekend for Comic Palooza, which would have never happened. Like I had different goals, but we didn't meet the goals because Comic Palooza was a little weak. So some lessons and things that I learned, like one, I definitely need to add more prep time into months like this. So when I know that it's going to be a crazy month, or when I'm going to have multiple shows in a month, or even multiple shows in a 2 month or 3 month span, I actually need to up my inventory a lot. I have never sold out of things before. So, due to me kind of lacking and like not trusting myself, I didn't double my inventory. I ordered more than what I normally would, but I didn't like really believe it. So every weekend, like my Glowforge and I were making new bookmarks, we're making new products, we're making new things. We're trying to make new things. I'm also doing a thing now where, certain products, like when I'm ordering coloring books and things, um, I'm gonna do it to where like basically I'm getting everything shipped to my house 2 months in advance. And then if I'm doing like an out of state trip thing, I will be setting a certain amount of inventory and I will be shipping that, for example, to my sister's house, or even I could ship it directly to the event too, if I want to, which is something I might do next year. I might just ship it directly to them. I want to do some like exclusive things for the event. So like if you show up at this event, like this is an exclusive event item. Like I kind of want to start doing that. I want to work with the Black Romance group to see if I can do that this year. I'm thinking of trying to design like an exclusive bookmark or something that you can only get like at the event. I'm thinking of doing something like that. The know your crowd thing, I underestimated my sellability to the book girlies. And to you, I apologize. I've always been so used, like I've been in the nerd space, I've been in the planner space, I've been in the book space. But meeting you in person and just being able to see the joy that comes across your face when you see my art and when you see like the products that I have to offer, it was really, really, really recharging for me. And so for that, it's kind of giving me this inspiration. I'm going to test my theory out at Books on the Ground and see if it's the same kind of vibe, or, if Black Romance Event is one of a kind. We don't know. So I hope, even Book Babes too, because I didn't have to change much. I did decide to do some more bookish things, but like my items still sold. And that's the part that really blew my mind. Like everything was still selling. I didn't have to think about like, oh, like maybe I should make them black. No, like if they like your stuff, they like your stuff. The same way that we operate is the same way that most book girls operate, or book people operate. And so keep that in mind when you're doing your thing. So during this time, I was also, without getting into too many details, I've been trying to figure out what's going on with my body. Something has been off. We finally have answers to what that some things are, and I'm currently treating that. And so I don't know if y'all can tell, like my energy is better. Like I feel awake again. Like I can function. Like my body hurts, but now I'm treating it. Whereas in May and June, I had not truly fully started treatment until I think like the third week of June. So Comic Palooza. So on top of these being multiple day events and traveling and everything, like I was exhausted. That trip back home to Atlanta, I was ready to cry. I was so tired, so physically and mentally exhausted. On top of just feeling like pure elation for the event, and then to realize like I only had like a week after that to break. If you plan earlier, you can take better breaks in between and you can show up better. The second event was also an event that I had to do on my own, because our lovely assistant, Kara, she had some life events happen that made her unavailable to help out. And so it really reminded me that like so many things can happen and so many things can change at like a blink of an eye. So I need better, more thought out contingency plans. And at that time, I was also trying to figure out what was going on with my body physically, because I was physically, emotionally, and mentally drained from everything. And I just could not figure out what was going on. And like, again, like I said, now I have answers. Now I have treatments. And now I am starting to feel like myself again, if I'm going to be real with y'all. That's another reason why it's kind of been quiet on on my channels, because on top of going back to being called back into the office for no other reason than old people shouldn't be running the country. And then my body just kind of deteriorating very fast. There were so many factors into everything that I just could not function. And so I decided to give up the social media part of my life, because that is the part that matters the least, if I'm gonna be real with y'all. So with that being said, I'm back for now. For August, I should be back. I am sitting here. You're going to see me in this look the whole month as usual. So with that being said, if you guys have any suggestions, ideas, if you saw me at any of these events and have some things you want to tell me, please leave them down below in the comment section. And until the next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.